Hello and welcome to the NuPIC Progress Review for December 1st, 2014. I'm Matt Taylor. We've got Austin, Scott, and Subutai in the room, and it looks like Chayton is just showing up. So I'm going to start screen sharing, and we will start by looking at our roadmap. We are at 75% done for 0.1 milestone, and that means that by the time we're done, we will have a complete release or pre-release of NuPIC. Most of the remaining issues for the release process are in my court. We've got a lot of good stuff done over the past couple of weeks, even with the holiday in place. So these are all of the issues that have been closed over the past couple of weeks, basically on this screen. So that includes including NuPIC core binaries as a part of the NuPIC build, improving a lot of the build framework stuff, organizing the CMake file and NuPIC core, a lot of nice cleanup stuff. We go back to the roadmap, we can see exactly how many things have been completed at this point. So all of our build improvements are done. So the initial temporal memory work is done, and yeah, this is included as a build, and our build process itself has been updated. There's still quite a few standalone tasks down here. I would probably venture to say most of these, if we get to the point where all of this, the big initiatives are complete, and we were coming up to the line on getting a release done by the end of the year, I'd probably bail on some of these and just move them to the next milestone. Maybe a couple of exceptions in here that are important enough to try and keep around, but they're definitely not as important as these super issues. So Scott is still working on the model serialization. So you've got code that's already been pushed to that does the Captain Proto serialization, but we're not using it yet, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So let's say the major work has been done. So at this point,
Well, I think it's gonna be a lot of work to move auditors over to it.
I see.
Is that what that milestone is? Is it all of it?
No.
Or is it just a?
There's two super issues. This one and one in the next milestone. And then one in the next milestone is the one for getting everything over to it. So this one is the initial work so we can use it. The next one is the one to make sure we switch completely over to it.
Got it. So you've filled this out a bit more with the tasks you need to do.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good to me. Sorry about scrolling. Most of the rest of the major work that needs to be done is just preparation for a proper release process, which I am working through right now. So that's where we are on the roadmap. We haven't talked much about what's in 0.2, which is fine. Let's not talk about it yet. Let's focus on 0.1. Okay. So I do want to go over our open pull requests, starting from the oldest at the top. The Windows build implementation is still open. I'm still not sure if this is actually going to merge or not. It looks like it's been cleaned up a bit, but as long as it has third-party Windows libraries as a part of this pull request, I don't want to merge it. So it may end up as another PR, like I said, but Richard Crowder is still working through some issues on that.
Looks like a lot of it's done.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work, and it's for the most part the builds have been passing, and Travis even on his PR all along.
So he can run NuPIC in Windows?
He can build NuPIC core,
NuPIC
in Windows, and he's got an app conveyor CI system set up that it's building and running. So once we have this merged, we can set up an app conveyor build for us so that we can get Windows builds, which would be nice.
Cool.
Is it just limited to NuPIC core, or is it NuPIC?
Let me see here. I think this is a core issue. Yeah, so I think he's started working on core. Yeah, I don't think anything's been done in NuPIC directly yet. So this is all just core stuff. But he's been keeping it up to date with master, and it's a lot of work in this PR. So it's impressive. So keep it up, Richard. Thanks again. Okay, so there's also this PR open that does some more sort of inheritance from the encoder classes. There's some cleaner inheritance from the base encoder class. This is in Mark's court. All four of these are in Mark's court. So I'm not going to go over them, but I ping him every 2 weeks on these. At some point, he kind of does work in bursts. So he may come in and just clean all this up next week or next month. I don't know. We'll see. None of these are, although I think this is a 0.1 task, it's something that I wouldn't mind moving to 0.2. So none of this is crucial to get in for the release. I have a couple of anomaly benchmark issues that I'm not going to go over. This is good to merge, Austin. Joe had one comment that you'd missed a URL. Simplified test folders, that's progress is being made on that. I think, right, all I had to do is merge in master, so all he has to do is press a merge button and it should be good to go. Same with these cleanups. David Ragazzi has been doing some namespace cleanup to get rid of NTA, replace with NuPIC. I think those are really close to being mergeable. One of them is mergeable, the other one depends on the other one, the previous one merging. And this is, I think, just some test cleanup that looks fine. I don't know the status of this PR, Chayton. I think it's been sitting around for a little while. Yeah.
Just in review.
In review, yeah, I think I just pinged you guys.
Yeah.
So that needs a review, it's ready to go. And this is HTML, not Java. Right. So those are open PRs, nothing egregious at the moment. Most of it is our works in progress, not on our plate to review, so that's good. So I should, one other thing I wanted to mention is, and this isn't directly related to NuPIC, but the HTML Java code base is getting a lot more attention now. I think it's up to 6 contributors, includes myself and David Ray, so there's 4 people in the community that are pushing PRs, and it's been moving quite quickly lately. David Ray just added a CLA classifier, so he's tempted to call this a complete stack of a CLA stack, and he's going to start working on demo applications and that sort of thing. So it would be interesting to start testing this out at some point. Trying to figure out if there would be a way to wrap both NuPIC and something like this in some type of functional testing suite. So that's something to think about. That's something I'd like to start thinking about.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And if you look through the code base, the code is really nice and clean. It's very structured. So I'm happy to have this, and could potentially open up HTML technology to a much wider base of users. I'd love to get some of the hot gym examples running here, so we can have kind of a corollary between what NuPIC does and what this can do, and see what happens.
You need to put something similar to the OPF in place.
Right. There's no OPF at this point, but something like that would be nice just for usability.
Right.
But I think that he talked about that, and he has some plans to do something along those lines. Yeah, nothing for an OPF yet, but he's given himself kind of a short leash as far as upcoming issues are coming. So once again, good work, David Ray. He's really keeping on top of this and keeping things going. He's engaged the community to write several encoders, so that's nice. Let us see. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I don't think anybody's really seriously blocked at this point. My big initiative is to continue getting the release process down so that we can have real binary packages for NuPIC available. So we're kind of halfway there. We've got the NuPIC core stuff going thanks to Austin and myself, and the NuPIC one's going to be a little bit harder, I think, just to get proper Linux binary and Darwin binary up in the right places that works on, and the testing is going to be hard. I don't think I'm going to start off testing a whole bunch of Linux flavors, but we should at least start with the ones that we have access to. So we know that Travis one will work, that's Ubuntu. We know that CentOS will probably work because we have pipelines in CentOS. But we're probably going to get reports immediately as soon as we publicize an install path that uses those binaries, that they don't work on all flavors of Linux and Mac. So I'll be looking out for that. But that's the initiative right now, is get those binaries published, get a release process that as soon as we tag the NuPIC repo with a version number, it automatically kicks off, pushes the binaries, and makes them downloadable. Then we can move on to figuring out how to pip install using those. That's the idea.
Very exciting. Cool.
Yeah.
Great progress. And I saw on the roadmap you have the completed ones there too.
Yeah, I did.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, I like that better. So that was your idea. Anybody have any issues they'd like to talk about while we're here? Concerns? Jeff Full, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
All right.
I've been real busy the last couple of months, but I wanted to just touch base and see where the project's at, and look forward to maybe getting involved again pretty soon.
Very good. Always nice to hear you. We're making pretty good headway. So
looks like it, yeah.
The plan is to continue making good headway.
And not butt heads.
Yeah.
On walls.
So I think that's about it. That was a quick meeting, but we're making good progress. Not much to talk about. And we'll see you back here in a couple weeks. It will be a Friday meeting next time, so less than a couple weeks. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.